Are we moving on to Trump and his State of the Union?
Yeah, I mean, that's
we got like 30 minutes, man. Like we talked an hour about Star Trek. we should just stick that as the new podcast now. You know, Brook and Amos talk Star Trek. So much for a segment. It's the fucking show now.
State of the Union. What are parts that you liked about it?
Right. So I watched the State of the Union the day after because it was very late in the night. And I was like, this is fucking brilliant. This is some epic showmanship. This is, if the one thing you can say about Trump, he understands television like nobody else. And rightly so, because he is from that world. So there were a lot of, I mean, the speech was inspiring. It's all the things you want to hear. You know, America is great again. You know, jobs, trade, China. Right? So all the good stuff, all the talking tropes. But what was spectacular, and it drove the Democrats crazy, you can see this, is Trump did not just point people out in the audience for the sake of pointing out people in the audience. Now, all presidents have done that, you know, this, that, and the other. But what he did was he made it into a spectacle. He didn't just talk about, you know, reuniting families, for instance. So there was the mother and the daughter of a military family, and, you know, but I can't even remember what their cause was, but right on television, he reunited them with the father.
That was, I heard a lot of people commenting on that, like, not just the fact that he would point out good things and he had strong points, but that he would just do it there.
He would do it right there. So Rush Limbaugh with the Medal of Freedom, the Tuskegee, well, they pinned the medals on him before, but, you know, they did that story perfectly. The girl with the scholarship, she got the scholarship right there on TV. Oh my God. It's The Price is Right. I mean, this is a game show at this point. You know, you get a car, you get a car, and you get a car, you know? I mean, it was something right out of Oprah, man. I was like, whoever did this.
That's what I'm thinking is like, see, when people hear us talking about this, it's like they assume something, but it's like you gotta appreciate and understand what the guy is doing and how well he's doing. Yeah,
it's not that we support him, it's you gotta give Jack his jacket. The showmanship.
The showmanship is good. The way he just goes about doing this whole thing, you gotta give him credit on that. And what's even, and he's really like, they're really pointing out that when he says good things, again, the Democrats stay seated.
That was
Black unemployment is down. Stay seated.
Yes, minorities are low unemployment. Nobody cares. The one thing, I think something about the taxes or something. I think one Democrat from Arizona stood up and clapped, and she was like, And then another woman stood up next to her and basically mouthed to her on camera, "Watch your ass," right? And again, not very good optics for the Democrats.
And then, of course, the weird, like, all the women of Congress wearing white. I don't get that.
Oh, that started with, I think, last year with AOC and the rest of them. It's, you know, the resistance movement. And there was a point where they were chanting some shit. You know, they were doing like the three finger salute thing, you know, out of Hunger Games. And they were chanting something, and he just steamrolled them. He just, like, spoke right over them. Boom, like, take that. And nobody even knows what they did.
So there was this whole discussion regarding what Nancy Pelosi did towards the end.
Are we jumping to the end? We got 26 minutes, man. We could stretch this out.
No, we're not to jump. I'm jumping just to that as a point. Like, people started talking about, like, so because we're talking about the reaction of the Democrats. So
yes,
when it begins, I know, and if you look, you can actually find videos of showing, like, the Speaker of the House introducing the president or addressing the president during a State of the Union. Every president, I think it's like the ones at least that we've really seen. I think someone did a compilation. It was like under Bush, it was all, you know, it is my, like, distinct and high pleasure, whatever it is they say, you know, the president of the United States. They give this sort of, like, professional sort of courtesy of, like, it is my, you know, pleasure to introduce him to the, you know, to the people, to the House.
To the House.
And they do that. Both Bush and Obama, they do that, and they even did that. I think they did show they did that the last couple of State of the Unions that Trump did.
Right.
Yeah. So then he comes out now, and then it just, Pelosi just says the President of the United States.
Crickets. Yeah.
Just doesn't know, and this is the thing is like, from the discussions that I've had and just from what I've seen, people are like, oh, he doesn't deserve respect. Oh, he does all this stuff. He does petty stuff too. Why they need to respect him? Both oppositions, every time there's a president, then the opposition, well, yeah, they're going to throw their fuss. They're going to do their things. If they don't like a law, they try to filibuster it. If they don't like this, they try to do that. But when it comes to protocol, when it comes to like a showing, like in a very public event, like whether it's a State of the Union, some sort of event, there's always a sense, there's still a display of respect.
Sure.
Yeah,
sure.
I disagree with him. Yeah, I don't like his policies, but I'm still going to call him Mr. President. Yes, I'm going to say, it is it's an honor to serve, things like that. You're going to do all that.
Yes.
To show that you're at least still willing to work with someone. But apparently, Trump is being perceived as such an unreasonable and crazy and petty person that he doesn't even deserve protocol.
Right.
So it doesn't really show as much as,
yeah.
which here's what it is. It has nothing to do with like, he can be the absolute worst president ever.
Sure, but respect the office.
But you still respect the office where it's due. There's
Correct.
protocols in place where you have to do that. The ripping of the speech, I don't see it as any sort of breaking any rules or anything. Like, I tried addressing this. I said it's petty political grandstanding. It's just stupid. There's better ways to protest him instead of ripping up his speech on TV.
Apparently not.
And people started thinking like I had a problem because Nancy Pelosi's a woman. I said, no, I have a problem because I think it's stupid. It's not because she's a woman. I've never seen any Speaker of the House break protocol and then cause a scene on TV.
Correct.
Granted, people want to go point, oh, Trump does his whole thing all the time. Yeah, he does it in interviews. Yes, he does it on Twitter. Yes, he does it where he can. But there's places where you shouldn't. Like, exactly. He's not going to say Pocahontas in a State of the Union.
Correct.
He's not gonna say.
We hope not. We got at least
right, but he's not gonna. Yeah, there's a lot of things he's just not gonna do in those specific settings. These are, yeah. So
I completely agree.
Do what you want. Don't do it when you're not supposed to.
And I mean, it's not to say like the Republicans had their shit as well. One of them had an outburst when Obama was speaking and he shouted out from the bleachers, liar, or some shit like that. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, you get one guy having an outburst. And
yeah, but it's not that's not the president, which was the point I was going to make.
What do you mean?
Obama didn't have the outburst. The audience had the outburst. So there is a lack of decorum, but it usually comes from the audience, not the participants. Yeah. And I agree with you in that.
But I'm thinking of that, like, even if it's like, okay, one guy burst out liar. Okay? Yeah. But now we have whole, like, sections of Congress dressed to make a point, doing chants in the middle of the speech.
Yeah.
Sitting, not just, I don't know if you want to call it angrily sitting, but it is something like that.
Can you sit angrily, like, fuck this chair?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree.
Yeah, there's a lot less.
But I have to give it to, Trump is having the best week ever. Like, there is no question. The last 2 weeks is basically, it should be Trump week 1 and 2, right? Maybe it's symbolic of 2 terms. We'll see. But this week, the Democrats got trounced. They got trounced over the impeachment. They got trounced over, what was it, the 25th Amendment of the Constitution, where they were trying to remove him from office using something there. I don't even know what that was. The State of the Union reaction.
Mitt Romney wanted to vote to remove him.
Right. So I mean, that was in the impeachment, but that was not the Article 25. There was something that the Democrats were trying to use to get rid of the president. Is that the impeachment clause? I'm not sure.
I'm not quite sure on that.
Yeah, I'm not sure on that. And now Trump is going to have he's moving to have the impeachment expunged so that he's no longer impeached. Yeah, it's just so much winning, Amos. I don't know what we're going to do with all this winning. It's a whole other level.